Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 28, 2024. And in the news this evening, Westmoreland vendor stabbed to death in Negril Transport Center. A 51-year-old vendor is dead after she was reportedly stabbed to death Thursday morning in an alleged robbery in the Negril Transport Center in Westmoreland, where she plied her trade. She has been identified as Sandra Hazley from Townhead, Burnt Savannah in the parish. Reports from the police are that Hazley went to the back of the transport center when she arrived shortly after 6 a.m. Commuters reportedly later saw her running from the area while clutching her neck. The news understands that Hazley's strap bag that she had secured around her neck was missing. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, the now deceased was seen on her knees clutching her neck. The police said she had what appeared to be a wound to the left side of her neck. The lawmen later rushed her to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Man fatally shot after reportedly mowing down two people in Manchester. A man was fatally shot by an off-duty policeman after he reportedly mowed down a 16-year-old boy and a 25-year-old man following an altercation in Asia, South Manchester on Wednesday. Police identified the deceased man as Kemar Clark, 24, a mason and a resident of Lancaster district in the parish. It is alleged that Clark got into a dispute with men at a fun day at the Winston Jones High School on Wednesday. When the event ended about 8 p.m., Clark reportedly got into a white Toyota Axio and used the vehicle to mow down the teenager and the man. It is believed that Clark was intoxicated. Sources claim that one of the victims was flung onto the vehicle during the incident. Two bikes were also damaged. Further reports are that the off-duty policeman intervened and tried to intercept the Axio by stopping the vehicle. Clark allegedly swerved the vehicle towards the policeman. The cop reportedly opened gunfire on Clark. Clark and the two other injured people were taken to a hospital, where Clark was pronounced dead while the others were admitted. On Thursday morning, unmanned roadblocks were mounted in Asia. The police have since cleared the road and are maintaining a strong presence in the community. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing the incident. Man killed 4 others injured at after-school jam in St. Mary. The St. Mary police are investigating a shooting incident at the St. Mary High School in Highgate during the institution's after-sports jam session, which left 1 man dead and 4 others nursing gunshot wounds. Dead is 28-year-old Fabian Needham, a pump attendant of a Cumberland address in the parish. Reports are that Needham got into an argument with a group of men said to be from the neighboring community of Capture Land. It is alleged that Needham flung a glass bottle at them before running into the crowd. He was reportedly chased by the group. One of the men reportedly pulled a handgun and opened fire, hitting him in the upper body. The suspects subsequently fled the scene. The police retrieved 7 spent casings from the crime scene. The injured persons, including a 60-year-old and an 18-year-old, were taken to the Port Maria Hospital, where at least one of them was admitted for further treatment. The school's guidance department, in a circular in the parents' WhatsApp group, said, "We had a good sports day and the after-sports session until 8 p.m., where a serious and unfortunate incident occurred. While no student was physically hurt, our entire school family has been traumatized. Investigation into the incident is ongoing." 2 men found shot dead in Clarendon. The bodies of 2 men were found at the Banks, Clarendon on Wednesday afternoon. The deceased are 28-year-old Tevin Ofield, a laborer of Gimimibit, and 24-year-old Brandon Thompson of Racecourse, both in the parish. It is reported that about 3:45 p.m., residents alerted the police about explosions in the Common Top area of Banks district. The bodies of the men were discovered with bullet wounds meters apart in bushes. Ganja weighing about 2 pounds was found in 2 knapsacks at the scene. Human Resource Association says Speaker Holness should withdraw letter to House Clerk. The Human Resource Management Association has added its voice to those calling for House Speaker Juliet Holness to withdraw the letter, which was sent to Clerk of the Houses of Parliament Valerie Curtis for her handling of 2 reports submitted by the Auditor General. The Speaker, in a letter dated March 22, accused the clerk of dereliction of duty. But HRMA President Dr. Cassida Jones said Mrs. Holness did not follow procedure in issuing the letter to Mr. Curtis.
We were actually alarmed by the process itself because in the interest of human resource management, there is indeed a procedure whereby you go through administration, you go through a disciplinary hearing, you have an investigation, you allow the individual to be able to respond to the allegations and to ensure that she's accompanied and has the necessary support. The way it was handled was not in line with general human resource practice.
Bunting accuses Clark of self-protection by defending House's Speaker. Opposition Senator Peter Bunting is accusing Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark of defending House Speaker Juliet Holness to protect his own failures that would have been brought to light after the tabling of 2 special audit reports. On Tuesday, the finding of reports on 2 public bodies, the Tax Administration Jamaica and the Financial Services Commission, were tabled in the House of Representatives. The audits found evidence of irregularities in human resource practices at FSC and that the TAJ had forked out close to $400 million over a 3-year period to lease 2 properties despite failing to occupy the buildings up to August last year. The TAJ has since provided an explanation, saying the delay is due to, among other things, the lengthy procurement process. Making his contribution to the Appropriations Act 2024 in the Senate on Wednesday, Mr. Bunting argued that Dr. Clark's defense of Mrs. Holness's initial refusal to table the special reports was fueled by a hidden agenda.
It is interesting. He spent a great deal of time in his closing yesterday. He even went on all angles. And when these reports were sent back to Parliament yesterday and eventually tabled, what do we see? These reports covered 2 agencies that are within the portfolio of the Minister of Finance. Perhaps that is why the Minister was so defensive, protective of the Speaker who was holding back these reports, which clearly they're not flattering to the leadership of the Ministry of the Minister of Finance. It reminds us, quite frankly, of another report which was sent directly to him this time and which was never read but put in a cabinet.
Supreme Court blocks April 2 implementation of mandatory contactless clearance at the customs. The Supreme Court has granted an application blocking the April 2 implementation of mandatory contactless clearance by the Jamaica Customs Agency. The matter was taken to court by the Custom Brokers and the Freight Forwarders Association, which has been calling for the repeal of the policy since it was first introduced by Jamaica Customs. Implementation of the policy has been stayed until a review hearing, which is scheduled for April 25. Contactless clearance is the process by which Customs conducts inspections of non-commercial cargo with a cost, insurance, and the freight value of under $5,000 without the importer or agent needing to be present for the exercise. Customs rolled out its contactless clearance process option for non-commercial cargo following a pilot undertaken from October 2022 to January 2023. The process has so far remained optional, as the Jamaica Customs gave a commitment to customers to provide additional payment methods before making the initiative compulsory. However, the association asserts that a contactless clearance threatens to make their roles and functions irrelevant by conducting the physical and intrusive inspections of containers of goods without them or the importers they represent being present. The president of the Custom Brokers and the Freight Forwarders Association, Clive Coke, maintains that the move by Jamaica Customs is a clear breach of the Customs Act and the World Customs Organization procedures and guidelines and the Fair Competition Act. Jamaica's customs brokers remain highly supportive of the imperative of securing our borders from illegal imports, but we maintain that there is need for reasonableness and for the striking of a balance by either eliminating or revamping this contactless clearance policy. This will ensure that the interests of the businesses that we have built reliable relationships with over many years are well represented at the Coke. The Customs Brokers and the Freight Forwarders Association of Jamaica are represented by Kingsway Counsel Georgia Gibson Henlin and Stephanie Williams.